got to tell you, I'm excited to be here because some of the information that I'm going to share with you, you haven't heard before. And what's important is that some of your teachers have not had this information before. So what's going to be great about this is that we've got to share information with you and with them, mainly for you. But with your ideas, we're able then to improve on this program and help other schools and teachers and students get some information that they need as well. Is that good? So you guys are going to help us out with something. Now, Veterans Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, right? Have you heard of that? Do you know when it is?
Next Friday. Next Friday.
November the 11th. How many of you already knew that Veterans Day in America started in Alabama? You did? That's very unusual because only about 1% of people across America even knew that. So, here's a couple things we're going to try to do today. We've only got a few slides. We're going to have a little video that's about 4.5 minutes long. It's really cool. It includes a little bit of information from the White House and some stuff that you might not have seen before. We're going to give you a book and a poster to your school. And so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you some information that you can use, and better listen up because there's an assignment that I'm going to help you with. Now you've got 2 handouts, and one of them is to fill in the information that you learn and will be discussed in school sometime this week. And the other one has got some fill in the blanks, and I'm going to help you with the answers on that. And then we're going to go over to page 2, and you're going to write little phrases or sentences about how you, in your best self, can use some of these character traits, like courage. Does anybody want more courage? Okay. Now let me talk to you like big kids for just a minute, all right? Good concentration up here. And I got to tell you, I told my mom that I was excited to come have this program with her, and she told me not once, but twice, that I needed to make sure that I was talking in a way that would be interesting and understandable to you. So, if I get off and start talking too fast or say some things that don't make sense, will you help me out? Because this program is supposed to be informative for you and inspiring. So when you leave here today, you should feel more inspired, possibly feeling more courage and more commitment to what's most important to you. Okay? Is that good? All right. All right. See this slide? Now on the left up there is a billboard that was in the Birmingham area a few years ago that says that America's Veterans Day started in Alabama. And if you go to the next slide, please. All right. I need a leader here. Would you step? Who's that? Would you come up here for just a minute, please? This is a book. See that book up there? After the 9/11 attacks on America, I got inspired with a retired colonel and West Point graduate that we needed to do something for our country, and we ended up writing 2 books, and one of them was called Patriotism in Action, and we learned that Veterans Day, see, I didn't know it either. I found out that Veterans Day started less than 5 miles from where I went to high school, and I had never heard that before. So I was both excited, but also felt like we've got to do a good job telling more people about that. So let me be honest with you. Adults, teachers, parents, they're going to tell you to find out what your talents are and develop them and then share them with other people. But Alabama has not been sharing this good news around the country so more people could come here. So I'd like if you would take this and present this to your teacher so that she can give it to the school. I'd like you to have a copy. Would you take it? All right, and one more. Will you come up real quick? And this is the poster I've been talking about. Go to the next slide, please. On this poster, it summarizes that National Veterans Day started in Alabama. Now, that's kind of small up there, but has any of you ever heard of General Dwight Eisenhower? And then after that he became what? Something of the United States. President, that's right. Well, this person on the right, Mr. Weeks, went to President General Eisenhower after World War II and convinced him that we should have a Veterans Day to honor veterans of all wars, and it should be started in Alabama. So, would you present the poster to your teacher? So for the school? Where's your teacher? Right there? All right. And maybe you guys can give that to your principal. All right, next slide, please. All right. I'm just going to point out a few things. There's 7 points, and I'm just going to hit 1 or 2 of those so you know. It's hard to read. But one is World War II ended in what year? 1945. And when most of the veterans came back, they had the idea that there should be a holiday to honor veterans of all wars. But a man named Raymond Weeks from Alabama is the one who took massive action. And then went to see General Eisenhower in 1946, had the very first one in Alabama in 1947, and it became a national law for the whole country to celebrate in 1954. And then President Reagan in 1982, he honored Mr. Weeks as the driving force and gave him the Presidential Citizens Medal. Now, all these things I'm telling you are going to be on our handouts. I want to see what you've listened, what you've heard, because when we start to fill those out. All right, next one, please. All right, can you go to that link? This is a short video, so pay attention because part of this is going to be on the answers.
Mr. Baber, I'm going to go grab us some speakers really quick so we can hear it, okay?
Okay. So we'll probably have a few minutes. Maybe.
Yeah, he just went running to grab some.
All right. Why don't we skip ahead? Can you skip the next slide? All right.
We'll come back then.
Somebody will help with the lights for a moment, and we'll come back to the video. We'll just adapt. Okay. All right. Now, let's take a look at this first handout that you all have. Very good. Okay. I'm going to borrow your speaker. We're going to do the video in just a second. All right. All right. I'm going to get you guys to participate a little bit with me, okay? Now, on this particular handout, there's an assignment. You guys are going to be teachers tonight. Here's the deal. This handout has been made, and you've been given a copy so that you can learn from it and then take it to some adult between now and class tomorrow, a parent or a grandparent or a coach or whoever you like. And this is what I'd like you to do. We learned in school today about how Veterans Day started and some of the character traits, and I'd like to tell you about it. And maybe tell them one thing and let them see this so that moms and dads and other adults will know this information too. Will you guys do that? Okay. Now let's read at the very top here. All right, Faith, what does that say?
Every student, every citizen should know. American Veterans Day started in Alabama.
Very good, thank you. All right, you ready for the next one? See this one right now?
November 11th, 1946. General July.
You did. I know.
General July Eisenhower supported the cause of the Confederate National Veterans Day in 1947.
Very good. All right. Good stuff. Okay. Now, you want to read the one paragraph? You do? Okay. Let's read this one, right? That's the last one. The United States Senate
Passed a resolution resolved by the United States Senate House of Representatives concurred that the Congress hereby recognizes Birmingham, Alabama as the home for the first and longest celebration of Veterans Day.
Awesome, good job. You did a good job, didn't you? Yay, all right, thank you so much. Now, on this handout, know that information, please. Now, let's look around to the back side. On the right side, about halfway down, it says character traits, education. Now, you probably knew this before I did, but I just learned a few years ago that Alabama passed a mandate in 1995 that 25 character traits are to be taught in our schools for at least 10 minutes per day. Now, you knew that because you're doing some character education here, didn't you? Okay. Well, look at those character traits. All right? See that list right there? What's the first one? Yeah, well, right. It's okay. I'll do it for you. Patriotism, courage, perseverance, loyalty, and citizenship. So that's a summary of this sheet. I would like for you guys to take that with you, okay? Now, let's take the second one. All right. Are we ready with the video? All right. Here's what's going to happen, guys. Well, this video is going to have some of the answers that we're going to fill in the answers on in the next 4 or 5 minutes. So pay attention to the video, and then we're going to come back and work on your other assignment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. Good morning, and welcome to the White House. This morning we're honoring an American patriot, Raymond Weeks of Birmingham, Alabama. For more than 50 years, Mr. Weeks has exemplified the finest traditions of American volunteerism by his unselfish service to his country. As director of the National Veterans Day celebration in Birmingham, for the past 36 years, Raymond Weeks, a World War II veteran himself, has devoted his life to serving others, his community, the American veteran, and his nation. He was the driving force behind the congressional action which in 1954 established this special holiday as a day to honor all American veterans. It's a pleasure for me to present Mr. Weeks the Presidential Citizens Medal given to those who have made outstanding contributions to their country. Mr. Weeks, in honoring you, we honor the ideals that we hope to live up to. Your country is mighty grateful for what you've done. Now, Mrs. Weeks,
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Harris.
How does it feel to be here at the White House honored on what's your day?
Well, of course, it's a great thrill to me. I have had the pleasure of being here before with General Eisenhower. He was president, but I have my wife up here and my two daughters. They are really excited about this.
The award you were given today by the President is very rarely given out. How does it feel?
Well, of course, I accepted this award in behalf of the combined veterans organizations, the citizens of Birmingham and Alabama. And that's the way it should be. They really did a job for all of us in helping us do this for 36 years.
Originally, how did the idea come about to have the one Veterans Day?
Well, when I came out of the service in 46, I had the pleasure of meeting General Eisenhower to discuss the concept of Veterans Day, and it started from there. The general was very excited when he became president. I saw him again at 53, and then is when we started the change of getting back, starting and transferring the name from Honors to State of Veterans Day, and he was very agreeable to it, very enthusiastic, wanting it done. We got it done.
And through Veterans Day, you've done a real service to all the veterans. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, you got it all? Great. Really appreciate it. So long. Be on the early news back home.
I'm Eric Stone Street of Modern Family, here to present Veterans, a category honoring servicemen and women on this Veterans Day.
Veteran 6. Here's Eric with the first clue.
Known as the father of Veterans Day, World War II vet Raymond Weeks received the Presidential Citizens Medal from this man on November 11th, 1982.
John.
It was Ronald Reagan.
Correct.
All right, thank you. So what'd you learn from that? All right, well, let's see what you did. I'm going to help you with some of your assignment. Okay, you ready to go? All right, you see the character traits on the slide where it says patriotism? Here's the history through the lens of the character traits that are Alabama character traits. First of all, first one is patriotism. Raymond Weeks was patriotic enough to want to do something for his country and his fellow veterans, to work to create a national holiday in commemoration to honor veterans of all wars. Now, you guys are supposed to be jotting down notes now. So jot down the answer in your own words out to the side of the word patriotism. So what you're trying to summarize the history of that related to that character trait. So what does patriotism mean? Second one, courage. If any of you ever had an idea that you wanted to do and somebody tried to talk you out of it, or maybe they said that you might fail, right? You have. You said, thank you. Well, he saved this national holiday in Alabama. So it was an act of courage, even for a veteran, to go to the Pentagon in 1946 to see General Eisenhower and make that proposal. Well, then, another character trait, you guys need to be writing. As I speak, I want you to be writing at least a word or two about what these mean. Perseverance. And you've already learned that character trait probably, but it means that Mr. Weeks had to persevere 9 years from World War II until 1954 when he got started. So sometimes, guys, you may start something and it may not happen as fast as you want, and you might even fail at it a time or two, but if it's important, you persevere. That means you keep trying until you have more success. Loyalty is a character trait recommended in Alabama. You guys know what loyalty means? Yeah, you're supposed to be loyal to your family and to your friends and your schoolmates and your team, etc. You can also be loyal to your projects and your causes, because he was loyal to this for 40 years. After he got it started, almost until he died, for 40 years he was serving veterans in Veterans Day in Alabama. Citizenship. The reason we come to school is to prepare you as the next generation of good citizens. So what does good citizenship mean to you? Please jot down a word or two for that. Now, President Reagan said that an example of volunteerism was part of good citizenship, and presented to him Mr. Weeks, the Presidential what medal? Presidential Citizens Medal, okay. Okay. Well, let's skip down, and I want to get you to fill in some answers down underneath. America, see where it says America's fought in World War II? On each of these, you need to fill in the answers, and we're going to do them together. I'm going to ask you if you know what they are, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you. Americans fought in World War II to protect us and our freedoms against starts with a B? A bully. A bully who ambushed Americans trying to take something that belonged to us, and another bully who was hurting or actually killing people in Europe. That's the reason we got involved with World War II. Well, World War II ended, and most veterans, so need to write in the word bully? All right, good job. World War II ended and most veterans came home in 1945, some in 1946. Alabamian, what's the name of the man from Alabama who started Veterans Day? That's the president. Weeks, you got it, all right? Well, that's the W word. What was his first name? Raymond Weeks. Raymond Weeks, write in Raymond Weeks. Flew to Washington, D.C. to petition World War II hero General Eisenhower to create National Blank Day. Veterans Day, good, yay, fill that in. Okay. The purpose of Veterans Day was to honor what of all? Got it, all right. And to perpetuate world, starts with a P. World peace, that's right. General Eisenhower actually sent a telegram down here on November 11, 1947 that said, what you guys in Alabama are doing is great. We hope it will help perpetuate world peace. All right, America's Veterans Day started in 1947, you got it. The date was November 11. Fill that in the host city. Birmingham. Got it, write it in, thank you. The founder was honored by U.S. President Ronald Reagan at the White House in 1982, who called him the driving force. D, driving, and then force. When the president honored him on national TV with the presidential blank medal. Citizen, good. All right. Now let me bounce back up to number 10 on the character trait for a minute, because this is about leadership. We need a counselor who's going to like this one. Kids, this is an important lesson. Most children do not think of themselves as leaders, and even a lot of adults don't feel that way. So there are 3 different types of leaders that contributed to this national movement in most things, and every one of us can be one of these. The first was the driving force. And that's when you care about something enough that you're willing to work for it really hard and persevere for it. The driving force. The second type of leadership was what one of your board members, Mr. Oakley, who's a sergeant major in the Alabama National Guard, he's been an advocate. He's not doing all the work, but he's introducing us to people who can help with that. And the third one is the leader who has the authority, like President Eisenhower signed it into law. And there's some things that Ms. Davis may want to do, and I may want to do, but your principal has the authority to decide if that's going to work or not. So, the driving force, the person who leads on it, second, the person with authority, and the third are those people who can encourage. So, when you've got a goal or a dream, go for it. But also those people who help you help them with theirs. Got that? Is it good? All right, way to go. All right, down back under driving force. Another state took credit for Veterans Day, and Alabama lost its recognition for 10 years until we persevered to prove Alabama led the movement. Official recognition was restored through through a resolution. What kind of a resolution? It's one of the branches of the Congress. Starts with an S. Senate, yay, way to go. Senate resolution. All right, veterans in World War II, before and since, maintain our freedom of, well, that's right, an L word, starts with liberty. Can you change the slide for a second? And the next one. All right, who knows who this group is? What? They are pilots. They're from Alabama, and there were famous African-American pilots from Alabama in World War II. Yes, sir. Can hear you. Red Tails? Yes, another name for them is the Tuskegee Airmen. And they were honored as the Veteran of the Year in Birmingham. See, Birmingham gives the Veteran of the Year award out here. Okay, let's move fast. All right, in 1960s, the last one, the Civil Rights Movement provided Americans with more freedom of, starts with an R, Rights, yes. Okay. Because of liberty and rights, we have freedom of S significance. We have freedom to flourish. Write those in. Kids, what that means is because of the people who sacrificed for you, you have liberty and you have rights, which means you have the opportunity to flourish at whatever's important to you. All right, how do you do that? This is important. A key way to succeed in school and life is to write plans to identify purpose and priorities, plus prepare for college, the second C, career, and what are we talking about today also? Close. Character. Character. College, career, and character. So your job as students is to prepare yourself for college if you choose to go, and for career when you decide to go, and also to prepare character. Guys, I want to tell you, I've coached a lot of business owners, and what they really want, not only somebody who's smart and make good grades, they want somebody they can count on to keep their promises, to have the character of keeping promises and to be truthful. Okay, all right, turn the page. Do we have a couple minutes? Okay. All right, guys, we're running out of time, so we're going to do one more thing on the back page. We want to write a sentence, one sentence, under one of these character traits that are in bold. You can choose patriotism, courage, perseverance, trust, or loyalty. And you write a description of your best self fulfilling that character trait. Now, an example under perseverance might be, even if I make mistakes, I keep trying. Or an example for courage is, when it's important, I act with courage to try, even when I feel afraid. Okay? So write something for, maybe pick one, courage or perseverance, real quick. Write a word, at least a phrase, a few words, or a sentence that describes you as you're doing your best, doing that character trait. Having more courage, or persevering to stick with something when at first it did not go the way you wanted it to. All right, while in the next few seconds, does anybody have a question? All right, are you writing? Good girl, good girl. All right. Did anybody write a sentence that you want to share?
Yes.
You know? You do? I can't go that far. Can you run up here real quick? Real quick. We gotta let you adjourn real quick. Run up here. Bring your paper. Up. Bring your paper. All right. Okay. One more person come up behind us. All right. Young man. All right. Well, you want to read what you wrote about your character trait? To be brave. Very good. All right. Thank you. Good job.
I stand up in myself and others.
That's very good. Those are vision statements. You see that up there that's posted on your wall? That's what you stand for. What does that say? All right. And if you read that enough, won't it help you internalize that thought? Well, that's the purpose of your vision statement for courage and perseverance. If you read it enough, I stand up for myself and I am brave, then you become that way. Here's the honest truth. Students and professionals in Alabama, I've surveyed a bunch of them, and a lot of them give themselves the grade of C when it comes to commitment and courage. So you can develop that. So try to mentally think, if you've got a C level of courage and confidence, that you work on that in school and in sports and at home and all the things that you do. Guys, I've enjoyed being with you. I know you have to go, but I hope to see you again. Thank you for being so great. Okay? Bye.